trust me with the camera.
She says I don't know. Should I?
All I have to do is push the button.
Okay, sure.
Mrs. Lolita Michano Smoke, right? Yeah, could you please stand up? Chút xíu nữa đây thì bà cũng sẽ có vài lời thưa chuyện với tất cả quý vị. Anyway, thank you for coming.
And the lowest level of that. Each level is so big. The lowest level of that is so it's really insulting. She's never done anything. So this to them
Long time no see. Matt, how are you? So great to see you. Hey, Nick. Chairman, how are you? Good to see you. How are you? Good to see you. How are you? Good to see you again.
I'm fine.
So I just had a conversation. Primary for Comstock's sister. Yes, Albert. Yeah.
This time of year that happens. If it didn't happen, something would be wrong, right?
It was a post reporter, wasn't it? It was a post reporter coming in and was yelling at the door. So let me finish up real quick. So there's one
So good to see you again. I'm so glad you're here. What a great turnout. So nice. So nice to see you. Thank you so much.
Fue el año pasado, estamos ganando.
Yes, you did. Exactly right.
Indiana.
My pleasure. So great to see you, sir. Thank you so
Él
much.
tiene 12 años, comenzó en séptimo
Crowd.
grado.
Turnout. So nice to see you. Thank you for coming. Appreciate you being here very, very much.
Anoche casualmente una fiesta de Halloween.
Oh, very cool.
No, me dio pereza. Pero que mucho el disfraz que fue.
I'm hoping to be. I'm working on it.
Good, thank you always. My chairman.
Hey, Jeff, how are you? Great to see you again. How was NAACP? Was it great? Terrific. I'm sure.
Hispanic neighbors, Korean neighbors, the Chinese. Oh, yeah. immigrants. We all immigrants.
We all are immigrants.
We're in England somewhere, or
England, France, and Germany.
Czechoslovakia, or Germany.
England, France, and Germany.
Hey, he and I was,
I haven't seen you in a while.
yes, at the TV commercial.
Hey, John, good
and,
My new wife.
George
Good
Bush.
to see you.
Hey, Pete Snyder.
Pete Gennaro.
Gennaro.
We've met many times.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we've
Absolutely.
met before too. I know. I don't think hopefully I got a few people here. Sorry.
The cavalry's on their way.
I don't think we could have gotten a lot more. Did I hear you say Abby? Are you not communicating? I'm Gennaro. I hope we got out there. That's right.
No kidding, that's so great. God bless you. Thank you.
Gennaro.
Yes, sir. Good to be with you today. So nice to see you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming out. Thank you. Great to see you.
Say, how are Oh my God, we're worn out. I'm like sweating here. No, they're good. They're just really active.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all for coming. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. You said you would be here. It's so great to see you all. Thank you so much. So great to see you. I know. Thank you for making it. Hey, how are you? So good to see you again. Thanks for coming out. Thank you.
You know, he said over now.
Hey, how are you? You been all right? Good. I am too. Doing well. Thank you. I did. That was great.
Sang, where's your bride?
We were at Home Depot together, actually. We're trying to renovate our basement.
Oh, is that right?
So I'm dressed like a civilian.
I think it works. Come on. Oh, man, it's Sunday night. This thing's basically like a sweatshirt. So.
Yes, indeed. Absolutely. Thank you.
Grace, how are you, man? Good to see you.
I saw that adorable picture of Dee.
Oh, she was working. We put her to work yesterday. Yeah. How old is she now?
She's going to be 3 in January.
Oh,
Yeah.
my Evie is 3.5 now. Son's going to turn 2 in February.
Unbelievable.
I know.
Now, what's his name again?
Harrison.
Okay, got it. I don't think I've met Harrison yet.
No, Harrison Noble Yee. He's named after my wife's great uncle, Noble Hitchcock.
Okay.
But yeah, he hasn't been out much because Evie's, probably shaking like 1,000 hands or something by now. But he wasn't born at the campaign.
Right.
He didn't get the brunt of it.
Evie's a natural, and he's got to learn.
Oh, well, it's almost embarrassing because we go to just a party with our friends and people are standing in line. She goes
Kính
up
thưa tất cả quý vị.
clapping their hands and says, I'm Evelyn. I'm
Như quý
Evelyn.
vị đã thấy đó,
Yes, and
That's great.
Sarah gets embarrassed and I'm like, they really think we abuse our kid or something. I don't know, it's just ingrained in her.
I'm Evelyn, take me home now. Person is this great story. She told it yesterday because we had Person out on the trail with us, and Charlie Blunt, who's now like 13, 14 or so, was about B's age during Roy's first Senate campaign. So at one point, the kid's 2.5. He says, "Oh, by the way, I'm not going to give a speech, just remarks." Know that I'm not going to give a speech, just remarks.
Wow. That's pretty solid.
I know, right?
That's next level stuff.
That it really is. It really is.
I remember when we went to the convention 2 years ago, I had Evie. She was, or 3 years ago, she was just in my arms.
Thưa tất cả quý vị, như quý vị đã biết,
I was like,
ông
6
Ed
weeks or whatever. And he goes, and he pointed at us and said, like,
Gillspie đã đến đây và chút xíu nữa đây thì có một vị thượng nghị sĩ, đó là ông Rob Bowman sẽ đến đây trong vài phút nữa. Vì vậy cho nên chúng tôi xin quý vị cho chúng tôi vài phút để chờ đợi ông thượng nghị sĩ Rob Bowman. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please give us a few more minutes? We just wait for the Senator Rob Bowman. He will be over here in the next few minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, the first thing I would like to tell you this. We thank you very much for everything, and especially you come over here tonight. But the first thing, we're very, very sorry that this place is too small to accommodate the very big crowd like this. Thưa tất cả quý vị, chúng tôi xin lỗi quý vị. Và cái buổi tối hôm nay quý vị đã đến rất là đông đảo, nhưng mà cái phòng này rất là chật hẹp, vì vậy cho nên xin quý vị thông cảm. Và bây giờ thì xin tất cả quý vị có thể ngồi tại chỗ để chúng ta bắt đầu chương trình. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. On behalf of the organizing committee, I am more than happy to welcome you to our event and thank you for attending. You're present over here tonight to show your strong support to the candidate for the governor of Virginia, Mr. Ed Gillspie. It's greatly appreciated. And thank you very much for thank you for your help and thank you for your attending. Thưa tất cả quý vị, chúng tôi rất vui mừng để đón chào quý vị trong buổi sinh hoạt tối hôm nay để đến đây để gặp mặt một vị ứng cử viên vào chức vụ thống đốc của tiểu bang Virginia trong những năm sắp tới. Đó là ông Ed Gillspie. I'm sorry. Sự hiện diện của quý vị là một món quà quý giá về tinh thần và giúp cho đồng thời sự ủng hộ rất cần thiết của quý vị để dành cho ông, và chúng tôi chân thành cảm ơn tất cả quý vị. And now to start the event tonight, would you please rise for the national anthem for the the United States of America and the Republic of Vietnam at a moment of silence. Both national anthems will be sung by Miss Jennifer Nguyễn.
You say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Quốc ca Việt Nam Cộng Hòa.
Cùng sông ơi, cánh lên đắp lời sông núi, để lòng cuộc đi thì xin tiếc gì than sóng, vì tương lai quốc dân cùng sống và khối tên, làm sao cho núi sông từ nay luôn vững bền, dù cho thế phơi trên cung giáo, thù nước lên mau đào lên bao, nổi sông luôn biết với gần giới nguy, người công dân luôn vững bền tâm trí, hùng tráng quyết chiến đấu làm cho khắp nơi vàng tiếng, người Việt Nam cho đến muôn đời. Công dân ơi, nó viết lên dưới cờ, công dân ơi, nó làm cho khói bờ thoát cơn và phát phế vàng, nổi sông dẫn danh nhìn nam dòng sông lạc hồng.
Một phút mặc niệm để tưởng nhớ quân dân cánh chính Việt Nam Cộng Hòa đã bị quốc vong thân. Một phút mặc niệm để tưởng nhớ đồng bào và chiến sĩ đã hy sinh trong các cuộc tù của Cộng sản. A moment of silence to honor and remember over 58,000 U.S. Armed Forces personnel who fought and sacrificed their lives to defend the freedom of Republic of Vietnam. Phút mặc niệm chấm dứt. Xin chân thành cảm ơn tất cả quý vị. This concludes the opening ceremony. Thank you very much. Please be seated. Thưa tất cả quý vị, và tiếp theo đây thì như chúng tôi đã nói là cái đinh của buổi tiệc hôm nay, buổi sinh hoạt hôm nay đó là vị ứng cử viên tranh chức thống đốc của tiểu bang Virginia, và chúng tôi hân hạnh đi giới thiệu đến quý vị một người bạn rất thân của ông sẽ giới thiệu ông với tất cả quý vị. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time I would like to introduce to you the very good friend of Mr. Ed Gillspie, Mr. Jerry Lee. We have few words to introduce Mr. Gillspie to you.
How y'all doing today? Good. First of all, I want to say to y'all, Miss Kathy, Mr. Ed Gillespie for having me, and the Gillespie team. Just a little insight on who I am. I'm a returning citizen. I spent 23 years in prison. I was released, and I started doing work in urban communities in Richmond, Virginia. With these works that I was doing in the community, Ed always came out to support me. I finally got my rights back and to be voting for the first time in this election. But speaking to the man that I'm about to bring to the stage, he was supporting me when I didn't have my rights back. He gave me a fair chance as a man when I couldn't even vote. The first time I met Mr. Gillespie, I spoke and he took his notepad out and he started writing stuff down. And to me, that's a big deal because I never thought that I was going to have an impact on anybody's life after doing what I did for 23 years in prison. He wrote it down. The next time I seen him, he came to a barbershop talk that I do with Project Give Back to Community. That's the organization that I work with. And I had two mothers. One had lost one child to the opioid crisis, and the other had lost two children to the opioid crisis. And as I was telling their story, out of the corner of my eye, I could see Mr. Gillespie put his pad down and wipe a tear from his eye. That's when I started to really pay attention to the character of this man. The next time I seen Mr. Gillespie, we was at K. Coach James' house at a meet and greet, and as soon as he seen me, he lit up and he remembered my name. He remembered my name and he told me how much that story affected him. That's when I knew this was a great guy, because I'm a spiritual man and I believe in the number 3. 3 times in a row, I met this man and his character shined, and I felt like that was God telling me, this is a good guy. This is a very good guy. So, I bring to y'all our potentially new governor of Virginia, Mr. Ed Gillespie.
Jerry, thank you so much, not just for that kind introduction. Thank you for the advice that you have given me, for the leadership you provide in our community. And I want to just share with folks here, I have benefited immensely from my friendship and relationship with Jerry Lee. This is a very good man who is doing very good things, and he is saving lives in our communities by peer-to-peer recovery, and he's a peer-to-peer recovery specialist. And my criminal justice reform plan, which is based on the understanding that we all deserve redemption and reconciliation and second chances when we have paid our debt to society, and that we cannot keep punishing people time and time again for that. And I appreciate Jerry's leadership and his advice to me in that regard, and also the advice he has provided me when it comes to addiction recovery and mental health. Jerry, thank you for your leadership. And I want to thank all of you for making time here to be with Kathy and me tonight. Let me say, Kathy is here with me tonight. Our campaign trail is going across our building. So I'm very lucky, we're very lucky. We've been married for over 30 years. And I also want to acknowledge a few other folks who are here today. I've got a number of running mates, a number of ticket mates. I'm so thrilled to be running with Jill Vogel, who's going to be an incredible lieutenant governor for us. And on November 7th, we're going to make history by electing the first woman Republican, or the first woman lieutenant governor in the history of the Commonwealth of Virginia with Jill Vogel. And John Adams, who is a great running mate for Attorney General. John will be a great Attorney General. One of the reasons he'll be such a great Attorney General is because John Adams will apply the laws of the Commonwealth of Virginia, not make up his own. He'll be a good lawyer for the Commonwealth, and John will be a great Attorney General. I'm proud to be running with him. In our General Assembly for House of Delegates, I just want to ask Cheryl Buford and Lolita Manchino-Smoke to stand, please, for a second. I'm proud we're running with them as well, and we are running to get things done for the people of the Commonwealth of Virginia. And we need to get things done for the people of the Commonwealth of Virginia. One of the things I want to share with this audience here tonight, with this crowd, is we've got to have more economic opportunity and allow for more upward mobility. As many of you know, I am the son of an immigrant and proud to be the son of an immigrant. My father came to this country as a child. He was 8 years old because his father, my grandfather, found work in America. And my grandfather was a janitor, and he worked at a big bank building in Philadelphia. He'd start at 6 o'clock at night, the night shift, and he would start on the ground floor, emptying the waste baskets and mopping the floors and emptying ashtrays back when you smoked in office buildings. And over the course of an 8-hour shift, floor by floor by floor, he would work his way to the top story, the 18th story, and the last thing he would do would be to polish the big wooden conference table in the boardroom. And he'd get home around 2:30, 2:45 in the morning on the public bus system there in Philadelphia. My parents never went to college. Two of the smartest people I've ever known and two of the hardest working. They worked on their feet all day long in a grocery store, the J&C Market. J&C were Jack and Connie, or as I knew them, Mom and Dad. And in my family, when you turn 12 years old, you got a birthday cake and a present and a 4-hour shift at the J.C. Market. And I know, and they insisted I go to college. And I took out student loans and I worked my way through school. One of my jobs was as a Senate parking lot attendant, parking the cars for the staff that worked in the big office buildings on Capitol Hill. And that job led to another job inside one of those buildings, led to another job, and I got to grow up to be counselor to the President of the United States of America. From immigrant janitor to West Wing of the White House in 2 generations' time. America is a great country. And people who come here looking for opportunity for themselves and their children and their grandchildren, we need to make sure that that opportunity is always there. And unfortunately today in Virginia, our economy is not providing the opportunities we need to, and we are not where we need to be. Our economic growth rate right now is 0.6%. And we are 39th out of 50 states in economic growth. Virginia. In wage growth, we're 44th out of 50 states. I know when it comes to economic growth and job creation and wage growth, Virginia should be #1 in the country, and we can be with the right policies, but we don't have those policies right now, and we will not have those policies unless we win this election in 9 days from today. But we're going to win this election 9 days from today. We're going to continue working hard. And when we do, Cheryl and Lita, John, Jill, and me, we will get things done for the people we're elected to serve. And those things you can find on my website. Many of you are familiar with them. 20 specific detailed policy proposals that will make life better for all Virginians. And I will be a governor for all Virginians. And that's just it. There is nowhere in the Commonwealth I will not go, because there is no one in the Commonwealth I will not serve. And I know my policies will create jobs and raise take-home pay, help people lift themselves out of poverty, make our communities safer, make our commutes less long, and will make our healthcare more affordable, will make our schools better. I've put forward policies for all these things. I'm not running to be our next governor because I want to be something. I'm running to be our next governor because I want to do something. I want to do a lot of things, and all those things have to do with making life better for all Virginians. And so I wanted to thank you all for coming here this evening, and we have a very special guest who has done a lot for the people that he's been elected to serve in the state of Ohio and for all of us in the country as a United States Senator and for the as U.S. Trade Representative as well. Before I bring him up, though, there are some folks I do want to thank. I want to thank Don Hondin, who has been a host for this, Mary Hay, who's been great for this as well, and Colleen as well. We appreciate all that you did to bring out such a great crowd here this evening of wonderful Virginians who care about the future of the Commonwealth we love. And so I want to come back to these policies and these issues because some of the, in addition to getting great advice from Jerry on our addiction recovery, well, he is also taking a lead now in the Congress in battling human trafficking, which we need to do as well. He too is someone who grew up in a family business and appreciates the importance of small business, understands, and is working now on a tax package in Congress to help make it easier to open and grow a new business in the same way I am putting forward a plan to make it easier to open a new business and expand an existing one in the Commonwealth of Virginia, to put a greater focus on startups and scale-ups. That's the key to long-term sustainable job creation in Virginia. Rob Portman understands that is true for the country, and he's working right now on a tax package that will help us do that and get jobs growing all across the country. I'm thrilled to say he is my friend. I'm honored by his presence here today. Kathy and I count he and Jane as dear friends. And I want you to welcome, give a big Virginia welcome for a leader in our country, Senator Rob Portman from Ohio.
I am so excited to support Ed Gillespie for governor of Virginia. Are we going to win? Yeah! Of course we are. You just heard the guy. Who could not vote for him? He has specific plans to help improve the economic state of this great Commonwealth, to improve the education system for our kids, to help with regard to the transportation gridlock. How about that for Northern Virginia? Having just struggled around Northern Virginia all afternoon. And finally, he's got a heart, doesn't he? And Jerry talked about it. And Jerry, you've seen it. I've seen it many times, and I've been privileged to be with him behind the scenes in the United States Congress, in the Oval Office, in his own home. I've seen what this guy's made of, and he does care. He does care about returning citizens. He does care about the opioid epidemic and those kids who are being born with this addiction, ensuring that we can turn the tide and give them the ability to achieve their God-given purpose in life. He does care passionately about Virginia, and that's why he's doing this. He has the plans to do it, and he has the knowledge and experience and passion to be able to carry it out. That's all we can ask for. Today when I was driving around Virginia, I had the opportunity to go to Old Town Alexandria and to Fairfax and to Arlington and to meet with his supporters. And folks, there are young people all around Northern Virginia making phone calls, going door to door. They're convinced we're going to win this election. I see momentum building. I saw a lot of excitement and enthusiasm out there. I also drove by a church, and the church on the marquee said, "Love thy neighbor." And then below it said, "Even if they are Dallas Cowboy fans." And I thought, that's sort of what Ed Gillespie is about. Ed Gillespie is going to win this race because of you. Because you're going to make the phone calls, and you're going to knock on the doors, and you're going to talk to your friends and neighbors and co-workers, aren't you? People you go to church with, people who maybe don't normally vote. You're going to tell them they have to vote this time, right? Are you going to do it? Yeah. Of course you're going to do it. Yeah. But once he's elected governor of Virginia, he's going to do exactly what his campaign signs say. He's going to be the governor for all Virginians. He's going to love thy neighbor, even if they supported the Dallas Cowboys, or perhaps voted for the other candidate or a Democrat. He doesn't care. What he does care about is being able to lift up the citizens of this great state and to provide a model for the rest of the country. And that's why it's so important we win this race. The Commonwealth can be great again. The Commonwealth can get back on its feet. The Commonwealth can lead. And Ed Gillespie can be a national example of how to do that. That's why this election is so important. Please, please do everything we can over these next 9 days to ensure that Ed Gillespie, that Kathy Gillespie is an incredible First Lady that she will be, has the opportunity to take that passion, that experience, the incredible energy and enthusiasm that he himself has, that you've seen on the campaign trail. I've never seen anybody work as hard as him. And allow him to use that to help all Virginians to be able to achieve their God-given goals in life. God bless you. Thanks for what you're doing. Go ahead.
Well, thanks so much. I just want to say one last thing. Where's Jennifer? Jennifer, that was an incredible rendition of our national anthem. I just have to say. And I'm not taking anything for granted. We're going to work very, very hard over the next 9 days. But Jennifer, if you would please put on your calendar noon at January 13 of next year. I'm hoping I'm going to be looking for someone to sing the national anthem at an inauguration event on that day. So thank you all so much.